It's okay. Off your mic, it's okay. Off your mic,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. My yegun don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo, yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo, yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. lórí YouTube. Máyégún ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú. Máyégún ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú. Máyégún ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú. Máyégún ti dé. Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Máyégún máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn lájú.
Today. Hello there, brethren. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Máyégún live. Thank you very much for joining me, and happy Sunday to those of you who are watching it live, and happy new week to everyone in case of those of you who are going to see this after it's streamed. So after reading the caption of the broadcast, you know what to do. Read the description as well, then like it, the video. Yeah, that's your own offering. Like it, share it, invite your friends and then your not so friendly friends and tell them to join us and say Máyégún today. Yeah, add that. Máyégún is live. And thank you very much. If you have done that already, it is the routine. I'm kind of actually finding it difficult not making that kind of introduction at every start of Máyégún's broadcast. It's a very quick reminder and very much useful information. So talking about information, 2 days ago, Kanu announced the presidential pardon and clemency and conversion and so many others, right, for some convicted Nigerians who have been convicted of various degrees of crimes. 175 of them, some of them are already dead, and their own pardon is posthumous, which means they will wipe off every criminal or whatever conviction in their record. And I don't know how much that is useful. One of the men who got Tinubu's pardon is Herbert Macaulay, rather, I want to say Hubert. Herbert Macaulay, who was convicted in 1913. Wow, that's a long time ago. That's over 100 years ago or something. So they said he was convicted of mismanagement of a public fund, right? And was barred from participating in political. He got a presidential kind of pardon back then, though. But the highlight of Tinubu's pardon that has gotten everybody talking is the caliber of people Tinubu decided to pardon. In 1991, a news magazine, Newsbreed, had this at the front of his, as his headline, header. Drug barons may determine Nigeria's political future. This is the situation of Nigeria. Now, when you have the druggie, Kanu, in charge. So what did he do? 2 days ago, they announced the pardon of some hardened criminals like drug dealers. This is not just drug dealers, so drug traffickers, who was convicted to life imprisonment. Tinubu pardoned him and he's been freed. The most wanted kidnapper, right? Who killed the deputy governor of a state in the eastern part of Nigeria. Kidnapped that, constitutional lawyer, Mike Ozekhome. Yeah, you remember that time when he was kidnapped in 2020 or so, right? That was him. And he's got a pardon. He's back home now, by the way. So you have a human trafficker, somebody who was convicted into life imprisonment for trafficking. That means somebody who was selling human beings and got caught, convicted, has also been pardoned. Okay. So I have the list, and it may sound like boring because I just want to have it on record. In defense of Tinubu, because a lot of Nigerians are kind of like, it's just downing on them. Like every other regular news, once they hear the news, they're just like, they're not interested per se. But when people started digging into the list, oh, really? For a country that is battling serious insecurity, internal insecurity, caused by this same corrupt, compromised security structure. I mean, within that space, by the way, as corrupt as Nigerian system might be, right? Some people dedicated their time, the resources to be witnesses, to be the lawyers, the judges who concluded the case and convicted these criminals. And right now, they are free, including their victims, right? So we're going to kind of like take a look at the list. Maybe not all of it, but at least you're going to have a shot at it as well. So scrutinizing the list of those that Tinubu pardoned, you realize that dog-related offenses, that takes about 40% of the list. Illegal minors takes 34%. Financial white collar, which is the fraudsters, that one takes about 17%. Violent and capital offenses like murder, kidnapping, 14%. Property hijacking, maritime, which is piracy and all that, 6%. Arms-related offenses, those who are gun runners, including a major in Nigerian army that was Akulu or something, his name. He was convicted to life imprisonment for conspiring to steal the weapons in the Nigerian armory. He stole weapons and then he sold them to Boko Haram. That's his conviction. He said to continue to say he's innocent, like that didn't happen. That's not what happened and all that, but he's convicted. So Tinubu heard his cry and he's been released as well. So we're going to go into the list one by one so that for the record, right, it's not just going to be, I heard that. No. You too can possibly, and those who are going to see this video now and in the future, that in Nigeria, where you've had a government that pardoned terrorists without even like notifying their own citizens, Operation Safe Corridor, an illegal system put in place by Boko Haram and the Nigerian army under Buratai the Butcher, where terrorists have been like rehabilitated and they have been returned back to the society. And they are being paid as well. Some of them are being reintegrated into the Nigerian army. An initial allegation that they used to deny, but these days they don't deny them anymore. They just say, well, because they've been rehabilitated and it's because they needed their experience. Under this arrangement, many Nigerian soldiers have died because of the supposed internal sabotage of information. We've had that many times. So all these failed ideas continue to be the policies of Tinubu. There are those who are already reading political mailing to this, saying that Tinubu is releasing the ardent criminals because he was going to make use of them in 2027. That's conspiracy, by the way. But in reality, what happened when ardent criminals like this were put behind bars and they barely serve even half of their supposed life sentence, which is practically, I think, 20 years, right? And they are back in the society just like that by the proclamation of the presidential pardon. So who are those who work behind to put together this list? They include the prison officials, a team from Tinubu's office, which is kind of led by the Attorney General of Nigeria. Yeah, your Minister of Injustice, Fagbewon, and others put together, scrutinized the list, and they gave it to Kolu. So you have treasury looters who also got pardoned. So when you walk, so for example, those of you who are lawyers in Nigeria who still believe that maybe something can still happen, right? You do everything, did all your research, the threat and all that, and you manage to put political criminals behind bars. Like they even got convicted that they served jail only for that to be scratched out, like it never happened, and they are back into the society just like that by the proclamation of another criminal. Somebody said, this is what you get when you elect criminals into power. Then you realize that the crime becomes partially legalized. The only illegal crime would be the one they don't, I mean, they didn't sanction. For example, the terrorists that listen to their guide and the rest of that, they have immunity. But the terrorists that act outside their order and all of that, they use them as the military is working example. In the whole process, the people become more and more their victims, unfortunately. So they have legalized crime. You just need to belong to APC, right? Before you can get protected. How did they come by this list? Muddle the whole thing up enough that you kind of have to keep wondering, what's the end goal? How did human traffickers, drug traffickers, gun traffickers, how did they manage murderers? How did they manage to get this pardon? Who did the consideration? Who did all the whole, what do you call it? The whole scrutiny and all that, right? They didn't have to do any scrutiny. Some are also asking, how much did these people pay for this presidential pardon too? Like all these criminals, it didn't just land on their lap. You get what I mean now? Like, especially the hardened ones who are serving life sentences, right? So it's not like this presidential pardon just flew from somewhere miraculously and just landed on their laps. No. How much did they pay? Would you have anybody look into it? That's the problem. When you have a system or your entire system, institutions that have become so compromised, then you realize that there is nobody to report to. Because everybody answered to one person. Just one person only. The Jack Bandit. Tinubu himself. So I have the list and I'm going to read them out. And we can easily see what Tinubu has unleashed to the society. So first, those they pardoned. The first one on the list is this Nweke Francis Chibueze. He's 44 years old. He's currently serving serving a life sentence in Kirikiri for cocaine, smuggling, trafficking. So right now, he's back home. You have Dr. Nwogu Peters, 67. He's serving 17 years for fraud. So 17 years in 2013, that means he's already served 12 years. He's got 5 years left. Tinubu let him go. Mrs. Anastasia, Daniel Nwaba, 63, she has already served her sentence for fraud. So she's probably going to go into politics now because she's been wiped off as, pardoned. Then you have Barrister Uzeni Alhaji Umar, age 58. He was sentenced in 2023, right, for fraud, ICPC case. So he was to pay 150 million naira fine. So the fine has been cancelled and his conviction is now pardoned. You have Anyela Sadu Alanamu, 63. They said he was sentenced to 7 years for bribery in 2019. So 2019 to now it would be like 6 years already. So they said he has already served his sentence in that regard. So you have farouq Lawan, who also was sentenced to 5 years in 2021 for corrupt practices. That one don't serve his sentence as well. It was released recently, right? So you have those they also pardoned posthumously. Albert Macaulay, he was banned from public office for misappropriation of funds and sentenced in 1913 by British colonialists. So now only British fit forgive Macaulay, but okay, Kolu had him, right? So you have General Mama Gia Vatsa, who was sentenced to death for treason under Babangida. So he has been pardoned by Kolu. Other posthumous pardons as listed by Kolu. You have Kensarowiwa for murder, Diogoni 9. Excuse me. So you have Saturday Dobe. We know about the Ogoni 9. So then you have the victims of Ogoni 9, who we also honored with national honor. You know those chiefs that the Ogoni campaigners were allegedly to have killed because they were supporting Abacha. So he has already given those ones national honor. Then clemency. So you have these ones, so they are to go, right? Because they have shown good behavior. They have shown good behavior and the report is fine. So that's why they're just going to have to let them go out there. And what were their crimes? What did they do? Yeah. You have Aluagu Lawrence, who was sentenced for Indian hemp, for selling Indian hemp. That's a hemp dealer. You have Ben Friday. He was 60 years old. He was sentenced to 3 years or 1.3 million naira fine for marijuana in 2023. So he's got clemency for that. He won't pay the money. Oroke Michael Chibueze, 21, sentenced to 5 years for cannabis sativa. For cannabis. So you have a Kelvin Christopher Smith, 42, for importing cocaine. Azubike Jeremiah, sentenced in 2021 to 5 years or 3 million naira fine for importing cocaine. Akinwande Adebiyi, 47, sentenced in 2023 to 3 years for dealing in tramadol. Ahmed Adeyemo, 38, sentenced to 15 years for cannabis. Already served 9 years, 5 months at Kirikiri, so it's been let off. Adebiyi Jimo, 31, sentenced to 15 years for drugs in 2015. So he's already served 9 years at Kirikiri, so he's been let off. Yewomiride, sentenced for drugs in 2015. He's done 9 years too, so he's been let off. Adeson Yaolufemi Paul, 61. He was sentenced to 14 years for theft. So he's done 8, so he's back out. Ife Yusuf, 37, was sentenced for human trafficking in 2019. And human trafficking, the realized sentence, but they said he has served 6 years at Kirikiri. He's been let off. Person they said human being. Daniel Dodunwa, 43, was sentenced in 2018 to 10 years for fraudulent internet to forge a land receipt. He's already served 6. You have Fidelis Michael, 40, sentenced to 5 years for cannabis sativa. Suru Akonde, 52, for cannabis, 5 years. Saviano Umar, sentenced to 5 years without option of a fine for possessing 5 kg of cannabis. So she's done 2 years, so she's been let off. Dahiru Abdullahi, 46, sentenced in 2016 to 21 years for possession of 3 pistols and has spent 10 years in jail. Amdroba Abi, back on the street. Amza Abubakar, 37, sentenced to 5 years for Indian hemp. So he's done 3 years, he's out. Rabi Alazan Dawaki, 52, sentenced in 2020 to 7 years for criminal breach of trust, fraud. Mujibu Muhammad, 30, sentenced in 2022 to 5 years, no option for a fine for cannabis. So you have Bala Zika, 70-year-old man. In 2017, he was sentenced to 15 years for selling cannabis, so he's back on the streets. Laina Kasum Wilson, 34, he was sentenced to death in 2017 for culpable homicide. That's for murder, you know. So he's already done 8 years, so he's back on the streets. Buhari Sani, 33. He was sentenced in 2022 to 5 years for possession of 558 grams of cannabis. Mohammed Musa, 27, was sentenced in 2022 to 5 years for possession of 16 grams of cannabis. Or people go jail for cannabis in Nigeria a lot. And most of your politicians are drug addicts, by the way. I mean, they have their privilege, you don't. So then you have Muarazu Abubakar. That one too. What did he do? He was selling Indian hemp. So he's been released. Ibrahim Yusuf for Indian hemp as well. So released. Sada Ahmed Madaki. He was also sentenced in 2020, right? For 419 offense, fraud. Corporal Michael Bauer was 72. Was imprisoned for murder in 2005. He's done 20 in Kaduna prison. Now you see something about murder, which is not like general. Sure you get. So they will say before you are considered for a parole in a murder case, you must at least do 20 years. Sometimes they'll say 30. And that one is not to free you. It's just to possibly take you out of the death row. Say, okay, yeah, they've commute your sentence now to life imprisonment, right? And from there, maybe you can get a parole. Or you must have done at least half of what took you inside there. But not. I don't know what criteria these guys use, right? But the list is very long. Jumping them now, right? So you have those ones who are Indian tramadol, Northern Nigeria. They hear the names, Abi? The pandemic of drug abuse, drug addiction in northern part of Nigeria is massive, especially among the young people. It's like a pandemic that, in fact, it is not like it is a pandemic, serious drug abuse. And when you look at those who work to take all these drug dealers off the streets, okay, and it is not like, okay, they've served their sentences, now they are coming out, because it's meant to be like, your prison is supposed to be rehabilitation centers as well, rehabilitation, okay? So, and once they come out, they're like, you know what, well, once a drug dealer, you're a drug dealer, so there's no biggie. But tramadol and other funny agents that they, sell in that northern part of Nigeria, right? It seems that the dealers who have been off the street for the past 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, they've got the license to go back right now. With the state of Nigeria right now, your imagination is as good as mine. Now, you see, let's continue with the list. Right. So you have Emmanuel Yusuf. He was in possession of 2 kilograms of tramadol. So he's already, was sentenced to 4 years in 2022. So he's done 3. Edwin Unazo, a 60-year-old man, was sentenced in 2018 to 15 years for cannabis. He's done 6 years and 9 months in Zamfara prison. Hinedu Stanley, 34-year-old, sentenced in 2023 to 3 years for fake lubricant oil. So somebody got sent to jail for selling fake lubricant oil. So he's been freed now. So Joseph Nwanoka is 42. Was sentenced in 2022 to 5 years for drugs. Johnny Mperu, 63, was sentenced in 1989, to life imprisonment for robbery. Had spent 36 years in Umuahia prison. So that too. Age and time, it's done his time. So you have John Omotiye, 28, sentenced to 6 years for pipeline vandalism. So he's already done 5 year vandalism, right? So you have Unsika, Edet Ari, he's 37. It's a legal possession of Indian hemp. Another one, Jonathan Azuko, Indian hemp. Prince Samuel, Peters, 54. 7 years for obtaining money by false pretense. He's done 4 years, 3 months in Ikotekpene. So he's been freed. Babangida Saliu, age 35, sentenced in 2024 to 3 years for unlawful mining. Now, these are the miners now. See the list of the miners. That's a very long one. So they were all caught in 2024, right? Look at their ages. So you have Babangida Saliu, 35. Adamu Sani, 39. Abdul Karim Salisu, 30. Abdulaziz Lawa, 18. Abdurrahman Babangida, 20. Marazu Alidu, 22. Zahraddin Baliwe, 38. Babangida Usman, 30. Zayanu Abdullahi, 28. Bashir Garba, 20. Imam Suleiman, 25. Abi Amisu, 28. Lawani Lurwano, 20. Yusuf Alazan, 33. Abdullahi Isa, 25. Zayanu Bello, 35. Habib Suleiman, 22. Jubril Sahabi, 23. Shefi Umar, 28. Seidu Abubakar, 29. Harun Abubakar, 24. Rabi Seidu, 26. Machakuru, 26. Zaradin Aminu, 25. Nazipi Musa, 25. Abdullahi Musa, 30. Abibu Safiu, 20. Hussein Sani, 21. Musa Lawali, 25. Suleiman Lawal, 23. Yusuf Ilyasu, 21. Sabiu Aliu, 20. Aliru Sani, 18. Hitu Aliu, 30. Sanusi Aminu, 27. Isiaka Adamu, 40. Maman Ibrahim, 50. Shaibu Abdullahi, 25. Sanusi Adamu, 28. Sadi Musa, 20. Aruna Isa, 35. Right? You see all of this. They are illegal miners convicted just last year. Oh, hang on. I need to get that rolling, right? So let's see again. From here, these are illegal miners. Illegal miners that were convicted last year for 3 years. Now, they haven't served their jail term, but with Kolu, they don't have to. So right now, in fact, with Kolu's pronouncement, these guys were never convicted for illegal mining. Do you understand what that means by presidential pardon? Yeah, they are going to wipe that criminal record off you. So it's not there. It might be there, but it's no longer effective, like anything anybody can use on you anywhere you go to. So I don't know if they even have all their fingerprints and all of that. They will need to clean out as well if they probably that sophisticated, right? But that is the reality. So you have the illegal miners, which is also one of the reasons why the insecurity in Nigeria will never really end, because those who are funding the insecurity, they have been also linked to some of these rare earth resources. Some of you don't even know exist in your community right now. You don't even know if some people somewhere are looking at a map right now about something that is right there under your land in your village right now. You don't know. And right now they are there. They are planning on how to destabilize the area and take over the land and begin to illegally mine those stuff. So what do you think this means? For people to even be able to put together all of this list of criminals and get them convicted, and they could serve out their time and make sure that they never go back into this illegal mining. But with the presidential pardon, everybody just have to go back to what took them to prison in the first place. So why? That's the question many people are asking. That's not all. There is more. So then you go to the list of inmates who have been recommended for reduced term of imprisonment. You know, those ones that, you can, you instead of life imprisonment, we'll reduce it to so years. Instead of 10 years, if you have already done this, we'll reduce it to another days. If it is death sentence, we'll reduce it. You know what I mean? Like, the list of that one is also kind of like extensive. You get it now? It's a bit extensive. Right? Those ones whose death sentence were also reduced to, what do you call it? Life imprisonment. You have those ones here. I don't want to go through all of the list because most of them you don't even know them, but maybe I should, at least so that you get to know why or what are the offenses. But you see, these ones are just those who are not immediately out. Okay. For example, right, you have this lady who killed her husband, right? Initially, she lied that it was in self-defense. Remember Miriam Sanda? This is a picture. She's the one at that bottom left. All right. Yeah, bottom left. So she got married to this quiet young man who most of his friends said is one of the most quietest and most nicest person anybody can have as a friend. And in fact, that he doubted her so much that even their friends couldn't believe when she was trying to make up the story that she killed him because he's been violent towards her, when there are no evidence of any form of violence. What have you? Stabbed him, I think, while he was sleeping. They said she tried to kill him 3 times before she finally found the easiest way, which is to stab him to death. But she's been released, even though the prison guys this evening said, no, she hasn't really been released. But yeah, she will be released, according to them. But you know this one on the right? Let me go and look for his name. That is the notorious kidnapper, right? Give me a second. I'll give you his name now. So he's a notorious kidnapper, the guy that kidnapped Ozekhome. His name is Kelvin Prosper Oniarah. You get me now? So he was one of the most dreaded, sort of like, you know. So for example, right, his crime, that it was that of Ozekhome that finally took him to prison. How many of you remember when Ozekhome was kidnapped? Google it now. Yeah, use your other phone and Google Mike Ozekhome kidnapped. Mike Ozekhome freed after ransom paid. Google that, okay? Maybe everything I go to do for now, right? You see that guy responsible for that he went to prison for, was supposed to be serving life imprisonment, by the way, right? His name is Kelvin Prosper Oniarah. Some of his famous crimes, right? They said those he kidnapped, by the way, famous ones that he kidnapped, not like the other ordinary people. He kidnapped a judge in those states, right? A top female official of Federal Inland FIRS official, female official, was kidnapped by the same guy. The deputy governor of Anambra State, former deputy governor of Anambra State, Chudi Nwike, Dr. Chudi Nwike, was also kidnapped and killed. He was killed because, you know, they couldn't let him go even after ransom was paid. So he's also responsible for some of the kidnapping of NYSC members around the Edo, PH, and the eastern part of Nigeria at the time. So his operation areas were Delta, Edo, Rivers, and Anambra states. You get that now? So it was also said that the DSS at a point once declared him wanted. Not even at a point, it's like severally, before he was finally captured. When he was captured, he was put on trial. On trial, he was found guilty of all his crimes, including the people he killed. So he was sentenced to life imprisonment. Now, Tinubu don't release him. And the video that is currently making the round on social media is believed to be that of Kelvin arriving back in Delta. While we don't have the capture or the exact capture of him, his physical appearance or his physical presence, right? But this is how some of his kinsmen received the news. It's like the best, kind of one of the best news, I believe, for them, right? In Delta. So, in fact, give me a sec before we even get to that, right? There we go. 1 sec.
Yeah, when I see to so let's go.
We'll come back to Kolu. Let's say Kolu, they're arriving in Rome after that pronouncement. But we'll come back to that. So this Kelvin promise, I've been waiting a caller in the Delta, the way the news was received. A notorious terrorist. Put it that way. Anybody that kidnaps anyone or kill people after, locking them up against their wills, kidnapping them, is a terrorist. Don't give it another name, right? But for his people, maybe he's a hero. Because waiting be this. So then you're like, wait, is that the same guy that Mayegun just described now? Of course, the same guy. So those who walked in putting him away, from the lawyers, the witnesses, the judges, and everyone, especially most of them who are reading these lists, like you. Let me give you the list. Let me put it in the comment section for you, all right? So that at least you can have a copy of what I was reading. So those who put them away, some people said they should probably be on the run right now. They are victims who possibly had closure. They probably had closure before now, believing that whatever they've lost, they may never have any means of getting that back anymore, right? But those responsible for their losses, the justice has been served only for president to wake up and say they are free to go because I've got the power to do that. Say, what? How? What about the victims? Do you not have any plan for them? It is very similar to what Tinubu did. Bokwari did too. Bokwari cared so much about the terrorists. He arranged Operation Safe Corridor to free murderers, bloody terrorists, back into the society. No record of them, no nothing. Right? And that is kind of like a clean slate. They never appeared before any judge or any court, nothing. It's just the military says, okay, they swore by the Holy Quran that they will not do it again, and then boom, they are free to go. That never happened. All the killings, all the abduction, all the destruction, it never happened. So how did that end? How do you think this is going to end? And why is Nnamdi Kanu not on the list? It's not just him. There's a guy called Bola. I can't remember his full name, Banda. And there's another one, Mr. Johnson or so. The guy that fought back the Fulani terrorists that wanted to stab and kill him on his farm. And he managed to wrestle the weapon from this murderer, this terrorist. And then he stabbed him to death. And he's convicted for murder. His name is not there. There's a guy standing trial for blasphemy because they want to kill him for insulting Muhammad. He's not there. Nnamdi Kanu, who has been the longest illegally detained prisoner of conscience, is not part of it. I'm just saying. So a lot of people are kind of like saying, hey, this is where they release drug dealers, release human traffickers into the same inside that Nigeria, and you still think that country stand any chance? Is this a form of unity or contributing further to division? There's so much more. But here, the Honorable Representative Nnamdi Kanu at the National Assembly, especially the House of Representatives, who has been very much vocal on the unjust treatment of Nnamdi Kanu and the Igbos in general. He's got this to say.
Some Nigerians are now calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. We are seeing these hashtag free Nnamdi Kanu all over social media, including Vice President Atiku Abubakar, activist Omoyele Sowore, and other Southeast leaders. And I know that this is coming especially after we saw reports from the North Katsina State, specifically of officials holding peace meetings with terrorist leaders under Operation Safe Corridor with pledges of reconciliation. I mean, meanwhile, we know that Nnamdi Kanu, who I believe was discharged at one point in 2022 by the Court of Appeal, remains in detention. And these are the conversations that we're seeing online. Now, how do you reconcile these apparent double standard in the government's approach in dealing with Nnamdi Kanu's case? Now, do you believe there is any sort of ethnic or regional dimension to how the federal government treats security challenges in the Southeast versus the Northwest?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question, OJ. Clearly, Section 40 of the Nigerian Constitution as amended guarantees the right to peaceful assembly and association. So I'm very happy that despite the veil and the veil of silence that has existed all over the country, Nigerians are waking up to their responsibility in demanding for justice for Nnamdi Kanu. And if it takes for them to have a peaceful protest, then that's what it will take. I've endorsed that we all should speak up now. The truth is that in Nigeria there appear to exist two sets of rules. One specifically for the Igbos and another for the other Nigerians, especially in the administration of criminal justice in Nigeria, where an Igbo man, goes through a whole lot of challenges than any other tribe in Nigeria. That bias, I don't know where it exists and comes from, maybe since after the post-Civil War. But we are all Nigerians, regardless of our ethnic backgrounds, regardless of our cultural backgrounds. The same right that exists for a Northerner, for a Yoruba man, for any other tribe otherwise minded, is the same right that should exist for the Igbo man. There shouldn't be any special exceptions. I mean, look at Nnamdi Kanu. See, look at what we are fighting is even to get treatment. There are a whole lot of people in that gap previously that were held by the state that even demanded to go overseas to get treatment for their ailments. But Nnamdi Kanu, it seems that we have to go 10 steps further, sometimes more challenges, uphill task, to even get the government to consider giving adequate medical treatment to Nnamdi Kanu. You also look at, in the administration of criminal justice, the charges that have been put forth to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, when others that were also in the same gap were pardoned or exonerated by the court. At the determination of the court, they were free. But Nnamdi Kanu has been subjected for 10 years in trial. 10 years in trial, and to no end would that happen. So, but as of today, a lot of Nigerians are coming together to say enough is enough. Look at the recent pardon of Mr. President. He pardoned everybody, even those who are drug lords, those who have murdered people in the country. Yet Nnamdi Kanu has not been proved either through the court testimonies of witnesses or otherwise mandate that he has committed any offense. Yet he's been subjugated and he's been subjected to almost like his rights as a person have been dehumanized. So what we are asking for is for the government to be able to look critically on the issue of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, to ensure that fundamentally that this is the aspirations and hope of people, especially of the Igbo tribe, that if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is released, it will bring about, it will bring security in the Southeast, it will enhance productivity, and at the same time, allow the Igbos to freely be engaged in various activities that Igbos are running away from because of high crime and criminality, banditry and assassination. So, for Mr. President, it would also help Mr. President consolidate his goodwill in the Southeast. But for him, and then you look at, I'm sorry to say, but when you look at his prosecution team, every member of his prosecution team are Yoruba. So the judge is Yoruba. It now appears as if it's a war between the Yoruba tribe and the Igbo tribe. It shouldn't be like that. So for us, it is critically important for the government to be circumspect about this, and the Igbos are asking for it, and that this is our this is our hope and aspiration, that the president can consider universally the release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, so that Southeast can return to peace, and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu can come to his family and be engaged in productive activities as he has been previously. That he's demanding for demanding for the welfare and well-being of his people is not it's not a crime. Right. Anybody can demand for the betterment of their people. After all, their people, which are the Igbos, themselves have felt exceedingly marginalized in this project called Nigeria. But we are Nigerians. We need to come together and work together, hand in hand, to ensure that what is good for the other tribes and what is good for every other person is also good for the Igbo man, and begin to stop.
That is what we want. Before you end up over talking like John talking. Do you get that now? So it is pretty much obvious that those who are keeping Nnamdi Kanu, they are keeping him as a trophy. And it was meant to be Bokwari. Now, Bokwari is officially dead. Okay? So why is Tinubu holding him? Who are those holding Tinubu from actually like obeying their own laws in this sense? So Tinubu decided to free drug dealers, murderers, human traffickers, gun runners, with no blinking or anything, right? And then a man that they have locked up so illegally, remain in that same detention. So the society is now riddled with more crime lords, with what is already going on in Nigeria. So who are those who advised Tinubu? How much did they pay? Because I bet you It didn't come cheap. If you understand how some of these things work. So at the end of the day as well, it also destroys the purpose of justice system in any way. Like, you do all you can to make sure that you get justice, and that got short-lived simply because some guys could just do that. Yeah? I mean, in this sense, so it is called. So talking about Nnamdi Kanu still. As Abuja, you know him, that guy from Rivers. He was with a weakest guy, then he became Fulbara's guy, then he just dropped Fulbara, and right now he's a freelance agent. I think he's added his own voice. Why are they keeping him? Like, what would you, I mean, on what ground? Now, those who really do not want, proper peace and progress in the eastern part of Nigeria chose to keeping Nnamdi Kanu.
Who go talk, death in my pocket. Because we know say, now those honorable members, those politicians, now then they destroy, they do so many dirty work, make it this Nnamdi Kanu dey there. Sunday, when we always do his own, on a release them, even in buy house for Germany, Nnamdi Kanu own, waiting happen. The bandits, or then they see their own, or then they see how they put them for military. We know, all of us know. And then they see law for East and East. Our elder statement for East. Why not release and make we see if this thing will continue? Our president, Tinubu, Nnamdi Kanu don't dey there too much, you know. I greet people of Nigeria. I greet people of the world. General Sabuja, the greet honor. The man who honor light and the man who honor hate are the great honor. Dirty water, the arms of the cherubim, the kwikwi of the seraph, the good and the bad and the ugly are the great honor. You don't take and never talk about Nnamdi Kanu. And you don't go where Nnamdi Kanu don't dey prison too much. No be like this. Court go give order, the government go disobey the order. Even though you sleep your wife, now like this. And they see the hatred we are Southeast day. No, you know they hide again. We are Southeast day. And the hatred also they from us. People from East, now then they set this in Nnamdi Kanu. Now then the press make it no command. We all know, no be hiding thing. But the rule of law, make we obey rule of law. Our president, Tinubu, Nnamdi Kanu don't dey there too much, you know go well. Okay, make we see now. You know, see Fulani people, see how government, both governors, how honorable members, how would they negotiate with Fulani? The head go come out to do meeting for upland. Even the worst part, they give us condition. They give Nigeria government condition. They give governors condition. Waiting happen for Nnamdi Kanu. This one, they come out, they give condition, say they want like this, they want like this. When they talk finish, they go back to desert, go back to bush. Nothing they happen. Nnamdi Kanu, waiting happen. Or I find something just to hold hand. Now make I say, I they see the hatred for East here. For North, then they come out, they discuss, they talk. We they even do it to give them a message, put them for our military. Put them for uniform, give them position. We know they do well. We they just show love for one side. We they show hatred for one side. Waiting in the Kanu do well, another person never do. The bandits, or they see their own. Or they see how they put them for military. Even on they say that they carry food, go give them. How do they get all these guns where they get? No be our people. Who go talk? As an don't plan to the killers, no wahala. The thing what I say go talk. Death in my pocket. I am Mr. Death on the pocket. And they carry a waka. Nigeria na go wake up, masses na go wake up. The oppress is too much from the honorable member, from the politician. Country where people just they do anyhow. If they put law to silence us. And people they use Nnamdi Kanu name they lie. People they use Nnamdi Kanu name they kill people. People they use Nnamdi Kanu name they commit different things. They buy people, they do this thing. We know, all of us know. If you know position, they use Nnamdi Kanu name, they do rubbish. So you go still there. Opposition they kill, they do dirty work, making Nnamdi Kanu still remain there. People they call community war, community robbery, community kidnapping, community stealing, all Nnamdi Kanu. On another they say this is no go where. When you see white, call and white, you know go where. Our elder statement for East. Nnamdi Kanu don't suffer enough. Waiting happen. The oppress and intimidation no be so now. Sunday when we always do his own on a release them, even in buy house for Germany, because na Yoruba man or waiting. And then they see love for East and East. On a day they show us love. On a they show us hatred. Like say we no follow for the country. East no follow for the country. On a tell them, on a tell us. Because we know say now those honorable members, those politicians, now then they destroy, they do so many dirty work, make it be saying Nnamdi Kanu dey there. Why not release and make we see if this thing will continue? Some governor they fear for East. Who go talk?
Nnamdi Kanu said, 5 minutes, when I'm out of this place, I will end the madness going on in the eastern Nigeria. It's not that he's going to become a macho man. He's going to carry a machine gun. And no. It is Nnamdi Kanu. Out of sight, is out of mind, they say. But not for Nnamdi Kanu, for those who genuinely, I'm talking about those who genuinely just listened to him and at the same time are able to form their personal opinion based on some of the information he shared. Nnamdi Kanu. So it's not going to go out and start shooting these criminals hired by these politicians, given guns by these criminal politicians. No. Nnamdi Kanu is the type that will tell you exactly those who are behind it with evidence. And this time around, they will have the people to deal with. You know what that means? It simply means that once you exposed the people behind this politically sponsored, and all of that started from the moment, remember, it started from the moment they led the Python dance to the eastern Nigeria. This was when Buratai the Butcher declared war on behalf of Bokwari on the eastern Nigeria. And from that moment on, you had anarchists who are in military uniforms, burning villages, shooting civilians in their homes. And it's been like that for the past 10 years. So every other thing that developed in the eastern part of Nigeria, including some of the militia group put together by these Igbo governors in their states, who are also terrorizing their people, at the same time, hunting down those associated with the IPOB to label them the terrorists. So if Nnamdi Kanu is out of that place and is able to tell you, the people of eastern Nigeria, especially those of you who they have managed to use their propaganda so far, right? Whose their propaganda has kind of like worked on very well, because I've read a lot of you are like, he's destroyed our region, he caused the unrest, he incited the youth, all the youth who are now agitated in eastern Nigeria, it was him, as if to say the same youth were not existing when Nnamdi Kanu was free out there. The youth, they were grouping with their flags, colorful, and their number intimidating, all screaming the name of one man, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu. At the same time, religiously chanting the name of the nation that is so dear to them, because Nigeria has disappointed them so much that way. Biafra, Biafra, intimidating so much that people feared that these guys that they are seeing behind Nnamdi Kanu, if the government doesn't do anything, then they say if the government didn't do anything, they are going to turn to dangerous people. All these guys who are afraid of what, or probably afraid of their own deeds, are afraid of Nnamdi Kanu. You see what they have done after they kidnapped him. So if he tells you that, give me 5 minutes when I'm out of this place, because it's going to be you and them, then it's not going to be that hatred or whatever they told you about Nnamdi Kanu, whatever thing you believe and all that, including those of you who have suffered in the hands of all these armed group, different armed terrorists in that place, including the military. Those of you who have felt so humiliated for your region being militarized and the rest of that, you put the blame on Nnamdi Kanu, not the governors who actually invited them over, and not Nigeria who sanctioned it and gave them the license to kill. So do you see the battle now? Why Nnamdi Kanu, they don't want him out? Because the current narrative of the eastern Nigeria suits the criminal politicians there, and it works well with the divisive politics of APC, because, you know, let me say we were like, love ourselves that much before APC came. Don't get me wrong. We've always had our fault lines, our red lines, sort of, in that contraption before APC came. It was when APC came that everybody started actually realizing that there is nothing called one Nigeria. In fact, what you have is many Nigerias. Bokwari gave every ethnic, every tribe a definition that makes them feel like they are not part of a body, of a whole body. in case if you don't know, all this division, all this tribalism, all this hateful rhetorics and all of that you are saying today, they were all brought by APC. And if you are not that probably like forgetful, you will know what they did with Goodluck Ebere Jonathan, especially when they felt like he's an Igbo, because he had Azikiwe, Jonathan, Goodluck, Ebele, Azikiwe, Jonathan. They said he's Igbo. So the rate at which they entered with Jonathan that time, it was because APC, Egbekegbe, attacked his tribe or his ethnic nationality, which they misrepresented to push their political agenda. Now, waiting push all of us to this end today. That you now have the Yoruba this, Hausa that, Fulani this, the Middle Beltans saying they are not Northerners anymore. They are Middle Beltans. The Hausas are saying, no, it's not Hausa Fulani, Hausa de Fulani de. Right now, Hausas can't wait if they have the opportunity to arm themselves and start killing the Fulanis as we speak right now. This, in the last 10 years of APC, those of you who have lived long enough, you agree with me. It never used to be like this. But that's what they brought. And that is what they are going to make sure that they continue to weaponize. Because it is what keeps them in power. If you want to, So they would continue. And concerning, talking about that same, double standard, they call it. Here is a local government chairman in Katsina State. Take a look at that screen very well. The guy in that gray or ash babariga, that is the local government chairman for Sabua local government area in Katsina State. His name is Gil Anemo. And guess what? You see, this gathering is actually the gathering of a wedding of one known, notorious Fulani terrorist. His daughter is getting married. The local government chairman that you saw who attended the peace meeting, that you saw the video a week or two back, right? That's the guy. So to them, they are building communal, peaceful relationship. So he's the special guest of honor. A Fulani terrorist that is kidnapping and killing people, right? Is having a wedding for his daughter. And the local government chairman, where is domiciled, doing his own abduction and all of that, is the special guest of honor inside Nigeria. So if you want to speak English, So tell us that we are demarketing Nigeria, we are not patriotic and every other nonsense that comes to your politically correct mind. But don't forget that all these things you are watching right now, all these things you are hearing right now, they are happening and they are sanctioned by the criminals in Nigeria, and the rest of the world is watching, as they should. So don't ever think that this is like an echo chamber where it's just us. Nigeria is not isolated by any means. Demarketing Nigeria, where the world knows that terrorists are being freed, drug dealers are being released from prison, while activists demanding for a just society and a responsible government, right, are being locked up indefinitely in prisons. Most of the time, they intentionally use the compromised judiciary to ensure that justice is completely delayed. As they say, justice delayed is justice denied, which is true. And that is what's going on in that place. A country where the rule of law is a luxury, cannot blame anyone else for his own sort of like backwardness or whatever, but itself. And those of you who don't understand how that works, right? You will eventually. You will find out. In Lagos, right? Where it is very constant, the news that comes from Lagos most of the time is that of demolition, and demolition. So we've seen these demolitions take place in so many areas, so many places in Lagos, but it seems that it is not ending anytime soon. In FESTAC, that's the FESTAC town in Lagos, it was their turn yesterday when the residents woke up to see, army of armed policemen, military guys, as well as bulldozers that started demolition very early. And it's always the same accusation as well. Yeah? Or they built on something, or they built on land that they shouldn't, and the rest of them. People, the same questions as well. How come that when this construction started, the local government, the state, actually supervised them, issued documents that they are now possibly like rejecting? How? Let's see where it is, Nigeria. Let's go to FESTAC and then witness what they witnessed. Victims. Or are they not victims?
Oh. No prior notice. No prior notice. We just pursue something for your house now. Let's start with the boss.
See this gate is fine. That gate is fine.
The same property there inside though. Jesus. Well, you could not see the inside here. And now, we go straight to wine now. Say now. After they fall as more, they not to fall. This is People's Shop. This is People's Shop at 17 Road, 6th Avenue, 17 Road. This we wake up, what people wake up to see this morning. As you can see, this is what people wake up. Look at how people are looking for their goods. This is a supermarket. The supermarket is here, and a Bet Niger shop is here. Electronic shop is here. Electronic shop is as well here with a plumbing shop. Look at people's shop. Look at people's shop. Left and right. This is the new building. You can see from over there. As you can see, Governor Sanwo-Olu should explain to the people of Lagos State. I'm always saying this on every of my video. If you laugh or you think that today is an Igbo man shop that is being destroyed, tomorrow it will be your turn. I always say this. These are people goose. These are people's shop. Waking up early this morning to this. I'm asking you, is it because it's an Igbo man shop? It's not only Igbo that is here. So I'm calling on every Nigerian to wake up. Let every Nigerian wake up. Is this the APC and Tinubu government you have voted for? This is a left and right side of the road. The road is big enough to contain as much car as possible. You can see. You can see these people shop. This 6th Avenue by 17 Road, FESTAC Demolition of Lagos State. You see it. This is people's shops. Today being the 11th day of October 2025. This is one of the victims, as you can see. You can see this is how he's looking for his goose up and down. You see? This is how people are picking their goose this morning. You wake up this morning to come and look for your daily bread. You wake up this morning to come and look for your daily bread. This is what you encounter. This is what you encounter. Is this the Nigeria we pray for? Why people are committing atrocities in the north and Nigerian government is not saying anything? Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Prince Lanle Sanusi, is this what we come up for? Is this what we voted you guys for? Is this what we voted you people for? You can see, these are people's goods being destroyed. The goods inside people's shop. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. See how people are looking for their belongings, their things. Nah. How are these people going to survive? This is laptops. This is gadgets. As you can see, tell me the hope, the faith you are giving to the owner of this. You want them to be depressed? You want them to commit suicide? What do you want, Nigerian government?
Like, how is that normal? Those are not people trading on the roadside. You get what I mean now? Supermarkets, electronic shops, building materials, you know, restaurants, well laid out and all of that. I mean, I don't understand. Eh? Like, you give them notice, even if they probably fail to move out when they notice, you still don't have any right of destroying their things. In the Nigerian way, you can get them to evacuate all their stores when they see that, oh, you're about to start demolition, even if for saving things that could be saved for that moment. But the intention is all these economic ruins. These are businesses that some people, right, like it's happened in many places, some people will die. Some, they will never recover from that video you just watched. See that video you just watched there? There are some people right now who have been economically ruined like that. And it's not just them. It will involve, it will include their family, their children. You see how things affect children, right? If their children are going to better schools, that is funding, now it won't be able to. So the children will have to find somewhere else and or possibly stop going to school. And so many other things that will eventually follow this. But to these guys who have this power, who doesn't really have this consideration in their mind, the empathy and all that, right? Because if you're doing the government job, it also comes with empathy, except that in the society you have today, where they have weaponized tribalism, weaponized ethnicism, religion, division, and the rest of that for political gains, it makes it worse. Because what they are inflicting, right, is like trying to inflict an economic injury, hoping that if they can wreck this set of people, to some extent, right, economically, they can become so handicapped. A kind of a theory that is so stupid. They are Nigerians in Nigeria, with this country where the main people who are holding Nigeria together to some extent, they are two. The first ones are these people who stayed in Nigeria, despite having the chance of possibly leaving the country with whatever money they have. They invested there, facing all of this draconian, corrupt, compromised system running business in order to employ people and keep running the services and all of that. Those ones, they are the first one. The second set of people holding Nigeria together are the Nigerians in the diaspora. Those of us who are subsidizing friends, family, extended family, unknown people, random social media friends and all that, sending money into that system. Because the rest are criminals who are stealing the money, using your name to borrow money that they don't have intention of paying back. If Tinubu told you you cleared IMF loan, Abi, only now that it came out that it took $5 billion from the World Bank, used 1.6 or so billion from it to clear the outstanding IMF, grants for COVID. And then they went to town and said that it's reduced Nigerians' debt, only for them to now realize that no, debt no reduce. In fact, it has now doubled. All this abracadabra lies back and, Kolu and his gang. Anyway, let's go forward a bit. Because for everything they are doing, they are pushing the rest of you to that reality. The damages wealth, the damages that illegitimate government, the damages that the criminals with power can do to the lives of millions of people cannot be, it's like unquantifiable. Therefore, once you give power to criminals, what you have done is that you have empowered criminals enough to run the country, run the system the way they deem fit. The rest of us would either have to file in line, all right? Or we just go to confrontation with them. That confrontation with them is something that we've not had what do you call it, the united sort of front. But we will get there, because with all these their actions, they will push everybody, including those of you who are having this false sense of patriotism. I love Nigeria. I love my country. I am a proud Nigerian. Say, no, you're a proud idiot. Give it time. The only thing that is very much democratized in that contraption, you want to know, is this kind of shege, which is, injustice. Is the only thing that is democratized in that place. Rich man go suffer, poor man go suffer. Northerners go suffer, Southerners will suffer it. Religious people will suffer it. Non-religious people will suffer it. So that is why when you are looking for common ground, what do you have in common? And what do you have in common? We have something in common, which is, this shege that we share. And that is enough motivation, or maybe not enough yet, but we will get there. It will touch everybody, turn by turn, Nigeria Limited. Sure you get, it will. The longer they hold the power, the longer, the possibility of you and I's turn coming next. Yeah? So, there will be no more strike, he told you. They promised you minimum wage. Right now, Shengbang hasn't been paid. They promised you local government autonomy. These are stuff not promised. They have actually pronounced them. And today, local government receives Shengbang directly from Tinubu. But he's already kind of carved a flag for himself, with the award that he's done all of that. So the ASU themselves, who initially were living on this promissory note, it's becoming obvious that, they are dealing with a dealer, not a leader. That is their call. Now, today they released a statement that they are now tired of being lied to. So it is time for them to go on strike. But they will first go on 2 weeks warning strike. ASU, to those of you who are students, university students in Nigeria, you should be bracing up because you understand what this means, right? Right. Under Boko Haram, it took them 3 years before they finally decided to go on the longest, never seen before, strike action. Okay. Tinubu is still promising them promissory notes that cannot buy them Gary. Now they can't have it anymore, according to their presser.
This is all ASU is asking for. We therefore appeal for the understanding of our dear students and their parents. We equally invite other patriotic Nigerians, including workers, media practitioners like you, and civil society activists, to join ASU in this transformational mission. Compatriots of the press, it goes without saying that there is nothing sufficient on ground, nothing, I repeat, nothing to stop the implementation of the ASU next resolution to embark on a 2-week warning strike at the expiry of the 14 days notice given on the 28th of September 2025. Consequently, all branches of ASU are hereby directed to withdraw their services with effect from midnight, Monday 13th October 2025. The warning strike shall be total, comprehensive. This is
so from midnight, what time is it? In the next 2.5 hours, they will down tools and there will be a 2-week warning strike until Tinubu pays them. So where is all this money? Nigeria is making so much money now. Local governments are getting more. All the GBT, Bajue. It's actually how far you can peddle the lies, pad the figure, infiltrate cooked up data, and tell yourself, here you get that you are doing fine. The World Bank said that Nigeria risks over 140 million Nigerians living in never seen before extreme poverty. Tinubu and his gang said they rejected that because the economy is growing. There's more money now, and they are borrowing this to pay that, borrowing from Lapo to pay OP, then borrowing from OP to clear part of Lapo, then again borrow from Money Point to go and pay OP, and like that, back and forth. And they are telling themselves that they are doing fine, while the debt of the country continues to pile up and pile up. They are the, they are the teacher, they are the student, they are the marker. They are the everything, like they say, the accuser, the prosecutor, and the jury, and the judge. So they award themselves. It's just like you. At the end of the term, you can give yourself distinctions and say, well, you scored A's in every subject. You get what I mean? That level, that if you had that grade of just A's, well, it is time now to say, okay, oh, because you are so brilliant, you're going to be a doctor, right? And it's the time for you to perform your first surgery. And you now said that I'm not really a doctor. I forged my destiny, right? But it's too late. You already killed a patient. That's what Tinubu and his gang are doing. They are using the life of millions of people to gamble, so to say. They know that the only loser in this game will be the people. Himself and his guys are busy monetizing everything, and it's about what can they get, what can they grab, what can they, left, right, and center, while the people have become so deluded. Deluded in what they call their own renewed shege. They call it renewed hope. I call it renewed shege. Let's go back to that FESTAC. A lady there made a video that in all of that demolition, while they were busy trying to figure out how to get, to salvage whatever is left of from their properties, right? They took her husband. Let's go back to that FESTAC. They will go ahead from there. We are going to go to, I'll tell you.
Please come to this side. Please. My name is One Wave. I stay in 6th Avenue, 65 Road, FESTAC Town, Lagos. I was in my house this morning. Police people come, they demolished the house close to mine. They left. In the evening, they came back again. So I was surprised. What happened? Wow. We came outside. When we came outside, the next thing, the police people just came to my gate, started banging my gate. This is my house here. They started banging my gate. That somebody from here threw stone to them. I don't know how someone from here can throw stone. Stone cannot pass because they were doing demolition. Surely, the stone would have just gone through the demolition they're doing here. My husband was not around. He just came back. Now. My husband said, what happened? Because they were banging on my gate. They said someone from my side throw stone. My husband said, throw stone. He never talked one. He never talked two. They give us slap of face. Dragged him out of here like a thief. They dragged him from here like a thief. They carried 5 of my staff from here and put them in their vehicle. I stay here in 6th Avenue, 65 Road, FESTAC. They carried their phones. They carried everybody from here, like 5 people from here. I have over 40 people that stay here. This place here is my house. Look at it. This is the extension we did down to this place. There is no way stone. There is not even stone in my compound. For them to say stone, look at, there are so many stones here. They were doing this demolition. Surely stones as the line go hit them, the one way that they do demolition from here. Look at this. Look at how we take cover this place. How stone won't take past here. They carried my phone, my iPhone. They carried my iPhone. They carried my staff phone. They carried 5 of my staff from here. And they carried my husband. See the way they were beating my husband. They slap and they say he be thief. They slap my husband and say he be thief.
For the same country, all of us.
Please come to this side.
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government were highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people are proving people should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to foreseen circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the knockdown is the best solution to coronavirus, and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in hunger. Because some people will be at indoor. There's no way to make our own life.
Thank you, Jerry Prof. You said it all. The government prefer you to die of coronavirus. And see, coronavirus in this sense is metaphorical. Doesn't have to be the Kolo virus, go. But the Kolo there is that of the criminals who are dishing out injurious policies, making injurious decisions that affect not one, not two, not three, but I'm talking about millions of lives. And they probably don't even see it that way, but they don't even know. But that would be wrong as well, because we all know that all these things are not by accident. They are not happenstances. They are intentional. Do you get me now? Everything they are doing is intentional. And that is why you have to be intentional too when you are dealing with them. Being intentional means you should not, by any means, right? When you get to that your own redemption stage, you should never find yourself among those who are still having empathy or sympathy for these guys enough to be like, you should give them benefit of the doubt. It means you're not ready. Because everything they are doing is intentional. They sit in the middle of the night in some hideous places. They plot, they plan, they scheme, and then they set in motion wherever they are about to unleash on you. And they don't blink, they don't look back. Even if they have the data that tells them how many people are going to be affected negatively, they still go ahead by telling you that whatever you are feeling, whatever you are facing, you are sacrificing. Don't worry, it's going to pay off at some point. Give it time, okay? And then somehow, psychologically, you are powerless, or you have been made powerless anyway. So you feel like, well, what are we going to do? It's nothing we can do anyway. We just pray to God to touch them. So it's not going to be just one day you are just going to wake up like that. No, it's going to be over time. And when that time comes, you're going to know. And that time, it will be the time when you know that, man, this has to end now. And all it's going to take is just for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, counting 10,000, 100,000, 10 million, 20 million to feel the same way. Boom. Just need 10% of them. You will be surprised how the entire thing will turn around, and you'll be like, what? So these guys could do all these things before? So why did they have to make people suffer for decades? Say, well, it's because people are comfortable. They are not uncomfortable enough to reject that they are forced on you. Because all these things you are witnessing, right? All this bad government, terrorists lording it over you, your criminal politicians having the best time of their lives because they know you are not united enough to come after them and all that. So, Baba, the moment they see that the fire is about to burn, genuinely, with that number, with that kind of mindset, you then be surprised and say, wow. And at that point is the time you are not supposed to slow down, because that time is going to come. And it's going to come very soon. It's not the time you're going to slow down and say, they want to negotiate. They said, let us negotiate. No, you don't negotiate with terrorists. The number one terrorist in Nigeria are your politicians. They are behind every wrong thing happening in that place, because they have all the resources, all it takes, except the morality or the credibility. They have all the resources to make Nigeria not what it is now. But gradually, their greed eventually overtake their need, and your need. So you have to feed their greed with your own need. You get what I mean now? I know sometimes I talk like that, like trying to be inspirational. Meanwhile, I don't have any inspiration to give to you. I don't have any motivation to give to you. What is going on in that contraption every day to other people? The ones you can manage, by the way, fine. You probably won't, they are insignificant, right? But to others that you get to see their stories and all of that on it's for you to have a connection to it, and possibly by any means, you, after having connection to these people in a way, you will be able to be inspired. So you have to inspire yourselves by yourselves. My own talks are just to possibly keep you there thinking, like, even if whatever I'm saying there is not really adding up, just saying. But you know why I said all of that? Because the thing there is this, the thing is that a lot of us sees all these vices. Sometimes we expressed the way we loathe them. Like, there is, say all these things. There is also a part of us that still very much have this soft touch for them. And that is why sometimes you find yourself saying, this one is better than this one. You say, but this one is a thief too now. Yeah, I know, but when he was there, you still have that soft spot. So when Nigerians are saying, if a revolution starts tomorrow, make una live with a wicked for me, that one's got like about 10 million people they look for them, right? And then others will be like, oh, if you have, if a revolution starts now, make una leave this one for me. Anybody no touch that one, I mean go get that one or this or that. Then in that same breath, you get to see others that will say, no, see me, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as all this one. You want to, like that soft spot. You have to kill it. Because that time is going to come. The number one terrorist terrorizing the lives of millions of people with their greed are your criminal politicians. They don't like you. They don't even like Nigeria. Here you get. I mean, come on. You steal money, that much money. You're supposed to make Nigeria so, beautiful. But no, the money is taken from Nigeria to go and buy choice properties abroad. Some of them, they put them in escrow accounts or other offshore accounts elsewhere that sometimes they don't even remember them. Because of this greed, the greed of wanting everything. And now you have a lot of them that have become greedy. You have a lot of greedy people to take care of now. Because the system has created, sort of like, breeded the massive amount of greedy criminals who are so insatiable. What do you call it? Their want of what you call the unexplainable wealth, sort of. Their greed is so massive, so much that it's just going to be a matter of time. So they'll push everybody to that point. Now, Mo will take a bit further too. You remember when Solo Makinde Ibadan sent a jibe to Devulumayi's way 2 days ago? Yeah, I was having an interactive session with the people of your state, giving them the update of his stewardship, by the way. And you ask questions, he was answering them, and all of that. Then he just took that a little bit jibe by saying, I won't come before you and begin to dance around the question, like what they asked a minister on TV to give them the cost per kilometer of his coastal road, and he started dancing around it. Anyway, Devulumayi has replied. His response is a little bit stupid, but it won't be wrong at me. We are talking about Devulumayi here. Anyway, so he said that, number one, Solo Makinde Ibadan should withdraw that statement, because he is a senior and he is also an engineer. Why Solo Makinde Ibadan is just waiting call a rewire being gone. Like rewire being gone look way. I don't know, but I'll play it for you. his own response.
70 billion, and probably you have done maybe 50 kilometers. Then that is when you divide and say you have an average cost. Average cost is definitive. Then estimated cost is a probable element. And so, when I heard, somebody showed me what my brother and friend, Governor Mark Indeo of Oyo State said. I don't want to join issues with him, but I think he's an engineer. I think he's an electrician. Oh, sorry, they call it elect. Elect. This road construction, elect, no reach there. I'm a senior in governance, and I'm a senior in engineering practice. And so anything he doesn't understand, he should call me and ask. And I will not join issue because I have respect for our governors. I have respect for him as my friend and brother. But he should withdraw the word that I'm dancing around. I never dance around. And if he insists, he should come for debate. That is very important. He should come for debate, and we can this thing. So there is no ambiguity in cost per kilometer, but I'm teaching them that cost per kilometer could be divided into estimated cost, which has elements of variance, and then average cost, which is definitive. That is what.
Àmọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ gbé kalẹ̀ yìí ó dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tí ọpọlọ rẹ̀ yòrò tàbí ẹni tí Ọlọ́run fi síbi aláṣà àwọn ọpọlọ rẹ̀ bí ọpọlọ ikú ó jọ má bẹ́ẹ̀ tọpọlọ rẹ̀ ò tó nǹkan rárá tàbí ètò wà ń bẹ kó má tiẹ̀ wúlò má rárá.
To those of you who don't understand Yoruba, right? You see that video? It's a cut out from a movie, a very old Yoruba movie. So I want to use a moment to explain it to you, because sometimes you probably just sit down there and be like, why are people laughing? It's funny, okay? And it's not in English, it's in Yoruba. So what happened was that you see that old man kneeling down at Jirebi, went to that other man who is a man of God, that yellow hair. So after everything said and done, so what that light-skinned man was saying was that, for everything you have just told me now, everything sounded like, like somebody who has no brain, who has no sense, or even if he's got any brain, is very useless, like that of the brain of the rat. It was like, So the old man that he was referring to, that everything you told me now, like even yourself listen to it, right? So everything you told me now sounded like somebody with, with no brain, with no sense. And even if he's got any little brain there, it's pure useless, like the brain of a rat. So the old man that knelt down was like, like the brain of, trying to figure out the brain of, and the old man was like, that of a rat. Like that of a rat. That's exactly how your brains and everything you said just sounded. It won't be funny if you don't understand the Yoruba. You get what I mean now? Like if you understand Yoruba, it'll probably be more funnier. Just like some Igbo jokes as well. You know what I mean? Some will be like, when I play some, like some will be like, Mahegu, where did you get this video? I'll be like, I don't know. Everybody is laughing, and I bet it must be funny. Something like that. So, Devoluma, engineer from Ebonyi, senior engineer, professor in practice, right? Still won't tell us. But Shemeka tells you. Something Devoluma doesn't want us to do is that it doesn't want us to divide the total cost by the total kilometers. Because now, dear go, the devil day. So Devulumayi was like some areas, they are solid ground, while many other area, coastal road means they are pure like mangroves and all of that stuff. Sure, you get now, like they would need serious work to construct roads and bridges and all that. So therefore, it is different how they, but it's lying, by the way, it's lying, but fine. So he said it's different. So if you now factor in how many kilometers they are going to build on very much like wet terrain, the slums, these stumpy areas and all that, right? So the cost is more. So also is the bridge and the bridges they are going to be. Alaye, you the mad, what happened is this. Whether they build one for 4.5 billion per kilometer, and they build some 10 billion kilometers. The thing is this, they are all going to make a single road of 750 kilometers. So an engineer that puts the cost and everything together, which they didn't in that sense, by the way. So the engineer that put the cost, the everything, the soil and all that together, they've done their cost estimate, the duration of time, factor in inflation and everything. That's what I would expect, by the way. Duration of when they are going to complete the project. They say everything is 18 trillion naira, $12.5 billion. Sure you get now. So we won't pay for them. You are not going to begin to say, now, okay, maybe you can. You can say, I want to see how they arrive at that 18 trillion naira. Here you get now. Then you begin to say, the cost of this bridge from here to here is going to cost 120 billion. This one is going to cost about 300 billion. Then we're going to build the road from here. So you can go and do the breakdown and all that. But for a common man, whether they build 300 billion bridge, construct another part of the road for 1 trillion, it don't concern you. The final cost you are going to pay is 18 trillion naira, $12.5 billion. Sure, you understand. So what you're going to do is that you divide the total cost by the total kilometer. The Devulumayi doesn't want you to do that. Sure, you get, to confuse you, but that's what you should do. When you do that, 750 by 18 trillion, it comes to about 14 billion naira per kilometer. Ṣùgbọ́n Yorùbá, bílíọ̀nù lọ́nà ẹ̀ẹ́dógún. 15 is ẹ̀ẹ́dógún. Yeah. Ẹ̀ẹ́dógún. That is 14 billion. Bílíọ̀nù lọ́nà mẹ́wàá àti mẹ́rin. Ó jẹ́ ẹ̀rìnlá. Ẹ̀rìnlá máa easy. Ẹ̀rìnlá. 14 billion naira per kilometer. And it is also increasing. Because initially, now 15 trillion, then called the project. Right now, your coastal road project is now 18.1 trillion. So far, so good. They have given Shaguri over 2 trillion naira. In fact, 2.8 trillion naira. They just requested for $750 million for coastal road. I don't know if they don't give them the money already. Possibly. $750 million. They are planning to take another $2.1 billion, which is presently is to pay back 1.1 billion euro bond. The quick cash they took last year, November, is going to mature next month, November. They don't have the money. When they put out, before now, when Nigeria put out bond, before now, let's say $1 billion bond, and everybody, they buy the bond from everywhere. They give them the $1 billion. easy cash. Nigeria will pay back with crude oil money. Nigeria will be like, towards this, anything from, let's say, August, August, September, October. All the crude oil money they made that time, they will deduct that $1 billion. They will make it ready. And they will pay it off. But in 10 years, APC, Egbekegbe have destroyed that. Now that they borrow money to pay off borrowed money. Tifnumbunomic. You know, all these things are going to come to light eventually. They will become so open that a lot of you will then do what you did with the Boko Haram. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I supported Boko Haram, but all the people are now go begin to blame people around them. And this one did that. Well, he trusted people. Well, he's a person that always trusted people. Now your life, your future that they take trust people. Now gamble. A gamble that is obvious that you are going to be the loser. You come back here. I've always been around. You know me. I'll always be around. So one of Tinubu's ministers, the Minister of Darkness, Adebayo Benkelemesi, who the other day said, when it comes to the Oyo State's next governor, Emilokon, that is, it's going to be his turn. He was also addressing the APC members in Oyo State, like Tinubu addressed the APC members in Abeokuta at that time. Now, Soloma Kende Ibadan, who is now the Sheikh now, is going to be the Afobaje now. And he's also been rumored that he's got an intention, he has intention of running for president in PDP. Yeah, everything is going to be unraveled soon, Sha. So I didn't know that Soloma Kende Ibadan also sent a jibe to this Benkelemesi, in case if you hear his own reply tomorrow. He may even call a press conference talking about Emilokon in Oyo State, back in this position.
But having said that, the decision on who will be the next governor of Oyo State rests with the people of Oyo State. We'll make our own submission to the people of Oyo State. We've gone beyond what I call stunt politics, where people I want to pardon. Maybe in the past. Maybe in the past. But now, Oyo State people will ask you questions. Oh, they said we cannot pay salaries on the 25th of every month. We said we will do it. We've done it. Now it's going to 7 years. They will ask you, will you be able to do it? If we put anybody forward within our team, what it means is we've evaluated that individual. But I also mentioned to my Lord, as we were discussing out there, that it won't be about the individual per se. But having said that,
to be about their own consolidation of their 8 years of Makinde. Now let's leave that. My time is up, right? So we can take calls, or we can just push it till tomorrow. But there's something we can't push till tomorrow, and that one is you liking the broadcast. You've been here all night, right? So it'll be a good thing, right? To not forget to like the broadcast. Okay, so please take a moment, just a moment, and click like. Thank you. So if you have done that, you only do it just once. Don't do it twice. But before we go, I have another update for you. It is about the 3.5 billion euro loan-funded Kano to Maradi Railway, the track that Bokwari initiated in order to link Nigeria and Niger Republic by rail. It is progressing. Your loan is working. Just a reminder. So thank you so much for your time, and you have a great week. But for now, have a wonderful night. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. lórí YouTube.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn làjù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Máyégún ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Máyégún ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.